going to have to go to where it lives.
Now I need my end.
Quinn.
I'll be waiting in the dark when the pain finally kills you. Tiptoe through the tulips.
You know, I never ever thought that song could be a little frightening and terrifying until I saw this movie. And if I walk past a homeless person, because that's what they look like. If I walk past a homeless person and they start singing them songs, I might cross a street or two. Let's start the show.
That's right. That's right.
You know what he did? He put another record on.
You need dumb people in horror movies.
The question should be, were there dumb people in this movie? Because this is technically a horror movie, right? Were there any dumb people in this movie? Let's talk about it with the co-host today. Let's bring them both at the same time. Who's there? And next, Doctor. What's going on?
Yes.
Abundantly so.
I have the nominees list, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, put it to your forehead like they used to do.
Oh, like old Johnny.
Yeah, like old Johnny.
Who doesn't listen, goes by themselves, and makes fun of the only person who knows what's going on.
Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you, Insidious has 5 movies. I saw the first 2. I liked the first 2, but I stopped watching after the second one. Why? I have no idea why. But I stopped watching. So this was the first time I saw Insidious Chapter 3. And I was happy to see my girl Elise is still there. I know it's a prequel. I was happy to see my girl Elise is still there kicking. Makeup and all. Doing the thing that needs to be done. I appreciate it. I enjoy to see it. This is a prequel. She's a little bit retired because some man dressed up as a woman keeps trying to kill her, saying, "This is how you die." Well, probably. But she says, "I'm going to go ahead and come out of retirement and die because I care about this lady who just showed up at my damn doorstep looking for a handout." Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about Insidious Chapter 3. Let's go ahead and talk about our likes and dislikes of this movie. And I'm going to start to the person who came in first. That'll be you next, Doctor. Tell me some of your likes. Tell me some of your dislikes of this movie.
You know, stupidity starts early in life. This girl, you know, it starts out, you know, she comes in and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm trying to talk to my moms." She passed, but you know, I really need to speak with her. And you know, Lisa's like, "Hey, I don't really want to do it, but I'm gonna still do it because you know that's what I do." And she does it. Face the consequences, but she's like, "Listen, don't reach out, don't call nobody if you don't have a professional there. Just let it go." You know, and she still was looking around for stuff. Now, granted, she didn't really, you know, call out like presumably she had before, but she was still looking around for, you know, her mom and all of this. So I mean, and then standing in the middle of the street, listen, I don't care who's standing down the road. I still have the presence of mind to understand that I'm in the middle of the street. And I'm not just going to stand there because that's not where people stand. That's for cars. And I knew it was going to happen, but it was still shocking when I just out of nowhere, she got speared, you know, edge style by that car.
Just a second. Can I ask you a question?
Ask away.
Who usually stands out in the middle of the streets?
Ladies and gentlemen, the nominees are.
So, You know, and the
Notice he didn't answer
dad,
the question.
stupid people stand out in the middle of the street. Okay,
Not just stupid, homeless.
listen, she had a home, but the dad, you know, while it's understandable, you know, wife had passed, now you're a single dad, you got to come to grips with that. It's going to take some time. You know, he was still being a douche at the beginning, trying to throw everything on the daughter to take care of. You know, you got to just be the father. You can't pass that buck to the kids. So, but I will give him props because later on, when he saw the signs, he actually did something. You know, he was caring.
Yep.
He was kind of like, okay, you're a little crazy. Maybe it's the meds or something when she was first talking. But then, you know, finding her upstairs after seeing the messy footprints, like, okay, I guess there is something going on here because I saw those footprints before. And speaking of these footprints, you know, Elise, you know, bless her heart, she's talking about, oh, I'm not scared of you. And then, you know, she goes down into her reading room, and then she gets scared and runs back out. I'm like, which one is it? Me personally, I would have seen these messy footprints in my house. Like, who's putting messy footprints in my house? Who's cleaning this up? Because I know it's not going to be me. Not going to be walking around my house where I pay mortgage, making messy footprints. But I tell you one thing, I wouldn't have followed them. So I gotta say that
Rich Doctor, not just messy. That was straight up oil feet. Okay.
straight up oil feet.
Mhm.
And you know, I don't know if anyone really got the Black People Award in this one because
I know who got it.
well, I'll let you talk about that part. But you know, I was watching as I was looking out, I was like, okay, who's gonna get this award? Because we've seen some consistency with people getting that award, like people having some sense. But maybe I blinked. I think I must have missed it. I did appreciate the beginnings of Biggs and Wedge. I liked that showing that team up when it was first happening. Also showing that they really didn't come into it as professional, knowing what they were really doing. It was just kind of something to do for them. But I still appreciated, you know, how they really felt fleshed out. You know, they brought that comic relief to it that kind of breaks up the tension a bit. And, you know, they made the world more lived in, as I mentioned before in previous episodes about this. So I kind of want to say that they're one of the best parts of the series. You know, I always appreciate when they're on screen. And yeah, I mean, we see Elise in the further. She gives a smackdown. You know, she does what she has to do. She gathers her power. Oh, I'm alive. She gives a smackdown, but then conversely, in the real world, we got two grown men getting beat up by a teenager, you know, hopped up on demon meds. So, you know, it's wild out here in these streets. But I mean, those are my kind of first thoughts on this. I'll pass the buck over here to Who's There, Knock Knock, doing it backwards, and we'll see what you have to say.
Now, you know, ladies and gentlemen, as I take the secret message, the next doctor teased one of my favorite segments, and we haven't done segments in a long time, but it's Dummy of the Week, ladies and gentlemen. But also Black of the Week. It's not even February, but dare I say it, Black of the Week. Now, okay, Black for a week. It can't be Black for 90 minutes, but Black for a week sounds better, right? You know, give them a week. Give them a week to enjoy it, to love it, and then hate it. Okay, as we all do. Let me just do this. Can I start out with the quote in this movie? I don't know if you missed it because it was so fast. She said it so fast. This is by Elise. She tells Quinn Brenner, the main protagonist of this movie. She says, It's not about the money. But behind the scenes, she said, cut me that check. I'll be in part 3. You said I got choked out in the first one. Don't worry about that. This is Hollywood, baby. We're going to make it work. And she sure did. She sure did. Now, Elise is going to be our runner-up, ladies and gentlemen, for Black of the Day. Here's why. Because, sometimes when you can't just leave because you know they're there for you, just like she says, that woman is following me wherever I go. Whether I'm getting visions or dreams, she says, I'm gonna kill you myself. It's personal, okay? Like Michael Jordan said, it's personal. That's all it took. It was personal, okay? When she took when she took that little boy from me, that was all it took for me to say, I'm gonna make sure you never jump into this dream world again. You like to hypnotize. Let me catch you. Let me catch you in the dark real quick.
She said it's on site.
Yeah, it's on site. And dare I say it, the bride is black. Black for 2 weeks. The bride is black. It's on site. But anyway, Elise knew that she couldn't just run from it. Okay, because who's going to hypnotize her? The man with the dice didn't show up till 3/4 of the way in the movie, okay? So sometimes, in your house sometimes, and you don't have the one teardrop to cry as a signal that I see something I shouldn't see. So she saw those footprints, and she just said, I'm not afraid of you. Inside, she says, I'm about to piss on myself right now. But you got to stay on the ghost because she paid that mortgage off. I know she did. That's a nice house.
She definitely paid that mortgage off.
So she followed those BP footprints all through her house downstairs to that creepy room, which needs more than that one little click, click light because it never works, ladies and gentlemen. It never works. Get her some LEDs. Somebody get her some LEDs. But anyway.
Maybe she needs a clapper.
Sometimes you ain't got the energy to clap. You just get the farter because you're gonna let one out when you see these things in your basement. You know what I mean? Just be able to lay on the floor and fart and let them lights turn on. Them ghosts don't like the light. But anyway, she goes down there and literally they're tiptoeing everywhere but the window, and they're going up the wall. She should have got out. That's why she's the nominee for Black of the Week. But she didn't, and the thing almost grabbed her. Okay. Can I give up another award, though? But the dummy of the week, yes, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you can see her. Where is she? There she is right there, looking through that one sliver. And I just like to show, in the Oscars, how they show the video why they're going to get that, why they get that award. Well, I just want to show you why they get that award. Now, the doctor called out the first one. It's her Oscar-winning performance of getting jackhammered by that car. Was it a hybrid? No. She just wasn't paying attention. She was looking at a man in a hospital gown waving to her very slowly. What in Epstein is going on? But anyway, this is what won her. This is what won her the award, okay? And I just have to play it for you. Here it is right here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's why my name is Who's There, because she kept knocking. Elise already told her, hey, when you call up to one ghost, all of them can hear you. And they just want to be alive again more than anything. Stop doing that, okay? This person that you think is your mom is not your mom. You know how you came to me because I'm the expert? Listen to me. She ain't listen, ladies and gentlemen. She ain't listen. She kept knocking. Then her boy crush says, hey, I'm not home. You haven't been talking to me this whole time. What does she do? Well,
knocks again.
Who have I been talking to? She knocks again. And that brings us up to Diddy of the Week. Now, Diddy of the Week goes to Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the movie theater. When that ghost closed the laptop, I couldn't help but laugh. Not because it wasn't effectively scary, well, because I said, what that ghost is about to do to that poor girl, not
No
even the
records.
family can see.
No records.
He got every bit of that lobster out of her tail. Every time she complained, I know he tore it up because that girl was not the same after that movie. You thought she was tore up after that car accident. No, ladies and gentlemen, what that ghost did to her. He wrecked her. Okay, he wrecked it. That girl will never be the same, ladies and gentlemen. I laughed. I shouldn't have. It was inappropriate. I was wrong. But so was that scene. Diddy of the week goes to this dude right here. He can't even breathe, but he was getting them Pilates and planks in, wasn't he? Because he tore it up. He tore it up. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just step back. Okay, what he did, he might be a worse villain than Thanos. Okay, he said no words. There can be no light. Don't even look, baby girl. Just lay face down. Let me close the door. Daddy can't hear you. He didn't ring no bell. He just tore it up.
He already had the oil.
Yeah. But like I said, runner-up goes to my girl Elise, who's cashing those checks for her great impersonation of Paul Bearer. She comes out there acting strong, but in the end, she's frightened as hell when it turns on her. Okay, because she's like, oh. I don't blame you, girl. Go ahead and get that money.
Woo! Come on, B word.
This is all you, buddy. Go ahead.
You're gonna have to unmute though.
Well, come on, B word, in case you didn't know, is what Elise said when she realized that she got some strength into her to that monster, and she CGI'd her, the monster across the room. And she's like, come on. I like how these monsters have all this power and strength until somebody realizes they're alive. And then all of a sudden they're Sonic.
Well, look at Cassie. Sorry.
You got to stop. Okay.
Megan?
The bottom line is Elise is still that girl. I like, we talked about intelligence. I like the intelligence of her when the true villain of the movie, when he says, hey, you mean tell me you guys are frauds? With my 10-year-old kid following the internet?
Yeah.
Y'all frauds? I can't believe it. I entrusted you with my daughter's health, and you are frauds? Oh, I'm going to fuck you up. And Elise just casually walks in and says, leave them, we might need them. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're going to be useful as cannon fodder or they're going to be useful to actually stand here. They're going to be something. Okay? I'm leaving with something. So that's what she did. Elise is the hardest soul. They had to make it a whole prequel just that way. They're like, we don't need the father. We don't need the wife. We don't need the daughter. We don't need her brother. We don't need any of those characters from before. We just need Elise and these two stooges, and we're going to be fine. And that's what keeps me watching, and that's what's going to have me continue to watch because we do 4 next week. But what else are we doing besides 4? Find out when we come back, or find out during this commercial break. Stay with us. You're watching a Popular Review.
People who need help with matters that can't be explained, come to me. To end this evil, I need to go deeper into the further. I don't have memories from this place. I have scars. I am going to find it, and I'm going to finish it.
Elise, there's someone right in front of you. I don't see anything. Be careful. You're going to touch it.
I know what we're gonna do. Their action tonight demands an immediate retaliation. How many cameras do we have left?
This should do it.
Oh, here she comes. Go up, go up. Oh, no.
That nerd saw me naked.
Are all nerds as good as you?
Nerds? What is a nerd?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This Disturbing Thursday, Wolfpack Thursdays are reviewing Revenge of the Nerds as they go into that series. Yeah. And then on Tuesday, next Tuesday, we review Insidious 4. Looking forward to that. But we're reviewing Insidious 3 right now, and we'll get into our final thoughts. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Let's go ahead and start once again with the next doctor. Next doctor, you are up. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
All right. Yes. So, Insidious 3. And, as I mentioned before, I hadn't seen any of this series. It hadn't really interested me. But I have enjoyed the first two. Did this one, though, capture me the same way as those? Not really. But it was still an interesting story. It was still told well. And again, as I mentioned before, Biggs and Wedge with the collab with Elise, I think that's, as Come On B Word mentioned, I think that is one of the best parts of this series. They really do bring it home. Just the dynamic of all of them, especially seeing the way that they, first started working together. But I really do enjoy that synergy that they have. The energy they bring to this movie, that's really a draw. So if that continues in Insidious 4, and I'll be definitely looking forward to that. But for this movie, I will have to give it a thumbs up because it was enjoyable. There you go. That dark-skinned, long-armed, thumbs up. All the way up there.
Ladies and gentlemen, that preview for next week, Elise says, in order to do this, I'll have to go further into your bank account. Listen, I'm enjoying these series. This is my favorite, one of my favorite horror series. That one and The Conjuring Last Rites coming up later this year in August. I will be going to see that. I will be going to see Final Destination, Bloodlines / if it makes enough money, we're going to go Bloodlines, DNA, stem cells, all of that. Okay. Listen. Shout out to, as Chris says, I forgot to mention him. Shout out to the dad who always had to go to work, but I never saw him working. Shout out to him. We've been joking about Lynn Shay cashing that check, as she deservedly so, because this series is being carried on her back right now, along with Specs and Tucker, or as the doctor calls them, Big and Wedge. For some reason, I don't know where you got the name wrong. But I love the scene.
Star Wars.
Oh, okay. That's true. I love the scene when Elise first goes to their house, right? After the ghost shakes her up at her house. She says, all right, I got to try. And she gets there. And then, remember, we can see what Elise sees, but nobody can. So you're holding hands, after a certain point, your hands are getting all sweaty. This woman is just sitting there like this. And then she goes, and you're like, what the hell is going on? And then she just opens her eye. I can't do this. I'm sorry. I got to go. She buttons up and she leaves. So you just seen your daughter kick off her cast, beat you, then bring out the knife, the box cutter, whatever like that. Said, I'm gonna wait for you when you gone, but I'm gonna cut myself right now. You know what I mean? So then Elise comes back. You willing to try it again? And what does Elise do? And I know he doesn't say it in the movie, but the father has to say, "Are we paying this B? Are we paying?" Because this is the same gimmick she pulled the last time. What is going on? Especially after he found those two scammers that his 10-year-old son recommended that he just listened to. Like, that was a great point, Chris. But listen, what does this movie get? It gave me laughs. Oh, it had the diddles. Oh. It had the dummies, yes. It gave me everything I didn't know I wanted in a horror movie, and I need more of it. I'll be here next week, ladies and gentlemen, because this is getting a thumbs up.
arm. Woo. That Diddy's arm. That goes all the way up.
If it's glistening, it is, baby. If it's glistening, it is. Did you hear what he did with that ejaculate?
Ladies and gentlemen, so far, 3 movies. So far, 8 thumbs up. Is it going to be a 9th? Let's go ahead and find out.
Chris from the future.
3.
I wasn't going to say anything, but since you brought it up.
Damn, he already watched the 4th one. He loves these movies.
3. Oh, I put the wrong one on. But anyway, no, that's the right one.
We'll fix it in post.
The Last Key is the 4th one.
Oh, shit. Well, whatever. This is the 3rd one. It gets a thumbs up for me. I haven't seen the 4th one yet. Interested in seeing it. Probably watch it this weekend. If not, I'll watch it next week at work like I watched these last 3. But thank you so much for watching us. Please make sure that you join us for everything that we have going on right here at Unpopular Review Entertainment. Make sure that you follow us on our Instagram, Unpopular Review Entertainment, on YouTube. Subscribe to us if you have not subscribed to us already, as well as Facebook and Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, for the next doctor,
something for everyone.
We have something for everyone. That's our tagline now. So for the next doctor, something for all. For the next doctor, for Who's There, I am Come On B Word, and we will see you right here next time on Unpopular Review. Good day, good night, good afternoon, everybody. I don't know why you keep doing that.
Make sure you shove a kid this week.
Really? That's how we end it every time. Shove a kid.
Every time.